Welcome to another episode of the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget you can watch our episodes over on the Sauces Entertainment YouTube channel, or you can listen to our episodes over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just type in Geek Out Room podcast and you should find us. With that being said, a very interesting subject crossed my desk that I want to talk about. And it is the idea of doing activities by yourself. Like people now find it very weird, very odd if you go enjoy dinner or movies or um, vacationing or anything that they feel you get to go with someone or a group of people at all times. Like people find it weird. If you're doing anything outside by yourself other than go to work, people find you weird. They do. And it's so interesting to me because I'm like, trust, I love doing activities with people. I love it. But I will say I've done way more activities by myself than with people. I've went on vacations to places on the other side of the globe from where I'm at by myself. I go on a lot of walks with my camera and do a lot of photography by myself. It's just something I like. I go to movies all the time by myself. I go to movies by myself more than with people. A big reason is that I'm an adult. I'm 30 years old. So a lot of my friends have families, they have kids, they have girlfriends, husbands, wives, whatever. They're busy, which is cool. But I'm not going to put my life on pause to wait till other people are available to go enjoy certain things. I've been to conventions by myself. I have. I've been to a lot of trading card shows by myself. I've negotiated for other cards I like. I've done the whole thing by myself. I've done many things like that. And it's just fine, dude. It's just fine. But you gotta be super secure. You gotta know how to, you gotta know how to have fun by yourself. Not everyone can. And it's really sad because there's really cool activities. There's a lot of stuff in life that you can miss out on when you're trying to be on other people's schedule. And that's not, again, a knock or a bad thing. When anyone who's an adult knows it is very hard to get one of your people to hang out with you, let alone a group of people. A lot of people everyone has different schedules. Um, for example, while I was working in retail, a lot of my friends had 9 to 5, so they would all be off of basically the same days, same holidays. I would not. I would often be working the days, if not all the time, like 95% of the time. When they're off, I'm working. So there was months where I didn't hang out with them. Not that we found ways. The other 5% is like we found times where we could hang out, whether it's like me after work or I'd happen to have a random Saturday or Sunday off or whatever. Like we'll make it work. But other than that, that's what this was. So I don't know. It's not as weird as people try to make it sound. There's plenty of people, especially if you notice, it's people when you get older because you just do not care what other people think. But it is when you get older, when you see a bunch of older people have lunch and just be peace. Dude, having lunch by yourself is so peaceful. Having lunch by yourself is so peaceful sometimes, dude. Going to the movie theater by yourself on times that agree with your schedule can be really fun. It can be a nice little time to yourself. Just go enjoy something that could be the experience amongst people because you're not the only one in the theater unless it's a really crappy movie or something that's been out for a super long time. But you can enjoy with other people who are around you, you know? Also, like, I've went to bars by myself, and just like that's a great way to meet other people and to talk to them and to experience something else. You know what I mean? Like, life goes on. You can do things by yourself. I know people who are super scared. I know people. I'm so serious. I know people who are scared to play single player games by themselves because they feel like that's a loner activity. They need to play multiplayer games only. Not because they even prefer multiplayer games over single player games or vice versa. They just feel like the idea of playing a single player game when no one knows you're playing this game except yourself, they still feel like in their head this is a weird thing to be doing. That's how bad it's got. Because one of my friend's nephews feels that way. He's about 18. He feels that if he plays a single player game that none, even if not, like, especially none of his friends know about, he still feels like in his head that this makes him a loner, this makes him unlikable and a loser. He has to play like a multiplayer game. He does not like Madden or FIFA or any of those sport games, but he plays it simply because he feels like he loves gaming, but he plays them because he feels like it's not socially acceptable if someone asks him what do you play and he doesn't play like and he only plays like single player games or whatever, which is crazy because when he was younger he loved a lot like Crash Bandicoot. He loved a lot of these like single player titles, right? And it's just funny. It's funny to see that. So that's why I was just like, man, a lot, especially not just kids. God, notice I didn't say Gen Z or whatever. It's a lot of there's people my age who refuse to go out to lunch by themselves because they're going to look a certain way. Not because they have social like. There's reasons why people may not want to go out, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. There's places in the world where me as an adult black male would never go to, especially myself, because of racism and certain other things where it just may not be safe. There's many reasons why people do not want to go do certain things or go certain places by themselves. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm saying people specifically who just do not want to do things by themselves because they look uncool. That is hilarious to me. That is because how do you get anything done? How do you have any joy? It's so weird to me in my head, like to sit here and be like, oh, I can't go enjoy something because my friend isn't free this weekend. So like I cannot go to this movie. My friend won't be free until 6 months later and this movie will not be playing. But because my friend because I cannot go by myself, like I have to like skip out on this movie, I guess. Like that's insane. Again, there are people who have crippling social anxiety, and that's a whole different thing. I'm not talking about them. I cannot stress that enough. There's people who are like, this is uncool. And I'm like, who's watching you? Like, who cares? Like, some people operate like they're on a TV show. And there's people like watching everything, like they're the main character, people are watching what they're doing at all times. Or that people are always conscious about what they're doing. Or they get caught in public doing an activity by themselves by their peers. They're going to get judged for it. And even if that was the case, who cares? Life is so unpredictable and short. Do not let life pass you by because you're too scared to think what other people are doing. There are so many beautiful video games, single player games that I've played by myself, and I've enjoyed them. Right now I'm playing Resident Evil 9 right now and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Single player games, I'm loving them. They're fun. They're really fun. But at the same time, I'm also playing some co-op games with my friends, right? Right now, I'm playing Split Fiction, and I was playing the Outlast Trials game. That was really fun. So there are games that you could play that are super fun, um, single player otherwise. But don't like rob yourself of activities or great cinema or great games because you're afraid to do it by yourself, dude. And don't be wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do things or experience things with other people. When I do my solo travel, like I remember going to San Diego and like I was like at some like end of the road and just like you see the beach on off the cliff and it was like this is an amazing view. I think it was like my hotel or something near my hotel. Amazing view. And I was like, oh, this will be super dope to share with this view with X, Y, and Z. I wish they were here. Well, and a part of me too, traveling alone. There's a lot of things you'll see like that, a lot of moments like that. What's dope about it is because you've been there and experienced it, you can plan to bring a friend or a loved one with you next time, and you know exactly where to go, exactly what to do, exactly how much money you need, like all these things you already know. So when you do experience with this person, it's a lot more of a smooth transition and it's pretty fun. It can be fun. There's a bright side to everything. And I just feel like it's so weird that people feel like you cannot experience things by yourself. There's nothing wrong going to a movie theater, watching a movie you've been wanting to watch just to unwind and watch something. order a big bucket of popcorn with your favorite snack or candy or something, and lock it in. There's nothing wrong with that for like 2 hours. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. It's actually very no. It's actually more normal than anything else, in my opinion. It's very normal. So yeah, I just it was just such a funny concept because like when my friends and nephew said the thing about the video game, I was like, wow, it's gotten like that. It's gotten like that. And yeah, I mean, I'm also, to be fair, a little bit my background too. I guess I'm very used to doing things with myself because um I'm the youngest in my family when it comes to my siblings, and we're very far apart in age, like very far apart in age. So um yeah, I had to do a lot of stuff on myself. And also my parents, when I was growing up, they worked opposite shifts. So my dad worked in the day, my mom worked at night. Just so someone could be home, but obviously they would be dead tired and probably be asleep. So when I got, I think since the age of 10 or so, I cook a lot by myself. I watch TV a lot by myself. I watched movies a lot by myself. Played video games a lot by myself. Like I did a lot of things, like a lot of things by myself. Don't get me wrong. I had plenty of friends growing up. We played outside all the time, but when it came to like, hey, you gotta be inside, I didn't just shut down like a robot. Like I did things by myself. So yeah, I did a lot of things by myself. And don't get me wrong, I had a lot of family time. Um, Growing up, we used to watch like as a family. Well, me and my mom, dad, me, my mom, and my dad. We watched House of Pain a lot together growing up. We watched this show called Burn Notice growing up. Royal Pains growing up. Um, I think they're like the only three TV shows I watched with them growing up, because then they watched a lot of like HBO, Showtime stuff that I wasn't allowed to watch, or they just didn't feel comfortable with me watching with them because they let me play Grand Theft Auto. So, but yeah, something funny about that, to be honest. But yeah, I played a lot of stuff by myself growing up, and so yeah, I just never so I've just never had a problem. It's always been a very normal thing to just be by oneself with access to others, but like being by oneself, just doing regular things. It's very normal to me. Um, so yeah, I never got this whole thing about just like chastising people about being by themselves or making them seem like some social outcasts. Because they do things or operate smoothly or unbothered by themselves. That's it's very interesting. It's very interesting. To me, it's very interesting. Um, Another topic I actually want to go on to. I was thinking about doing a separate episode about this after I saw the film. I have not seen the film, but I just wanted to talk about, since we're talking about movies and going by yourself. Critics. The latest Michael Jackson biopic, believe it's called Michael, has it's coming out, or it came out, or it's coming out tomorrow. Um, and people are like destroying this film, dude. And what's so interesting to me is you don't have to listen to critics. You don't have to listen to influencers. And this kind of ties into everything I'm saying earlier about just having your own mind and be comfortable with certain things. These people online, including me in this podcast, you don't have to listen to us, dude. You really don't. These are just how. At the end of the day, these reviews, whether from critics or from influencers or whatever, content creators or whatever, like they're all opinion based. They're all some individual for a company or for themselves stating how they felt about this film, be it for good or bad. It's 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 one of those things where you don't have to listen to critics. You can just go watch the film by yourself. Now understand, don't understand, because how expensive the movie going experience is, people really want to spend money when they know they're going to enjoy something or get something of value for said thing, which is what makes these videos or these reviews so important, more than ever before, in my opinion. More than ever before, in my opinion. Because yeah, with social media you can show clips and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, that those clips may get people intrigued, but they'd be more intrigued to go pirate your movie or wait for it to come out on streaming or whatever than to go spend however much to go see it and go get food and gas and all that. Everything costs much bread, much bread. So you gotta be really careful. So these reviews really mean a lot to people. So I understand that aspect of it. I'm not dumb, and I think a lot of people ignore the cost of everything. So they don't want to leave the house and go commit 2 to 3 hours or whatever their time to go watch a movie that they don't know anything about or are going to hate. Now, Michael's a different story. People know who Michael Jackson is. You understand my point. It can be tough. It can be tough. That's why movies, and I put the most famous example out there. That's why movies like Get Out, for example, destroyed records because the word of mouth on that, it was a movie in January, February. I think it was a January release. No one was checking for no January release, bro. Do you know how good your film has to be and how good the reputation of that film and the actors and people, just everyone involved in that film has to be, even at that time, to make people go out of their house in the dead of winter to go enjoy your film multiple times? Like, dude, Get Out was that's what I'm talking about. Like, word of mouth and cultural impact with films means something. Same thing with albums. You want people to go listen to your albums more or read your books more. You got to get those reviews. The reviews are important, but so is people just going to experience something themselves regardless, and then telling their friend who tells their friend who tells their friend who someone posted and now goes viral. Boom, bada, boom, boom, boom. So I don't know. It's just so funny, man. We just live in this world where I feel like we are so. It's always been that way, right? Because Google reviews, Yelp, these are always these been a thing for a minute, and people do count on them. But man, now that everything's on your phone, it's so instantaneous. Like, I just feel like we let these reviews hold us back from experiencing anything. I mean, anything. If you have the money and you're gonna go out anyway, sometimes it's okay, dude, to go experience something and not like it. Because guess what? When you go experience something, whether it's a like paint and sip or a movie or a TV series or a food place or whatever, the odds of you not liking it, they're still the same odds of you liking it. And that's what experiencing is. It's not all good. When you experience something, it comes with the bad as well. And I feel like we've gotten to the point. Same thing with video games. Again, $70 to $80 price tag. I get it. And we do not live in the age of demos anymore. We don't. We don't live in the days where you get a disc that has like 10 popular games, all demos. You can just pop in real quick and play and be like, oh, I really like this, and this game. I'm gonna go buy those when it comes out. None of that. None of that. So I get it. I'm not saying it's easy. But man, sometimes you're going to get disappointed, and sometimes you're going to be the happiest you've ever been. That's what makes experience itself so valuable. It makes it so, as human beings, we get to experience things and then and take it how and digest that experience how we want or how we can, how we're able to, and can change our minds or how we do things in the future. And that's so beautiful, man. And I feel like we're robbing ourselves of that when when we let Rotten Tomato scores or IGN of all places dictate how good or bad something is. It's just unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate. With that being said, that's it for me on the Geek Out Room podcast. Just random thoughts I want to talk about, man. It was just so interesting and funny to like experience and see. So there's something I wanted to talk about. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, like always. See you on the next one. Keep geeking out. Peace.